Okay, this is a vlog about what happened to me last night at the bar. Every Wednesday, I go with my friend Amanda to this bar for karaoke. She sings karaoke, not me, but I go to watch her. And there's a lot. Excuse me. There's a lot of really good singers. Like the karaoke that we go to, there's no drunken Asian businessmen who get up and sing. It's just pretty much good singers. So it's fun, and I sit with my group of friends, and usually we have a really fun time. Last time I went, last Wednesday, this like 60-year-old man comes up to me, introduces himself, hi, my name's Dave, whatever. And I thought, oh, he's just another karaoke guy, just another one of the crowd, but he wasn't. And then I sit down and Amanda says to me, I'm just going to warn you, Dave's probably going to hit on you tonight, because he does this with all of the women, and we've all had to go through it. It's pretty much a rite of passage. And okay, the bar that we go to on Wednesday nights is like a biker bar, minus the bikers. It's like, it's in the ghetto. It's just like a skeezy bar. There's no bouncers. It's just fight breaks out and you pretty much have to wait until it's over or shit like that. It's just a really bad bar. But the singing's good and the DJ's really good and whatever. So we go. Oh, excuse me. And of course, last week, he does hit on me. In fact, he gives me this little post-it with like this little poem on it, and it was like, bring love and joy into your life and you will have love, blah, 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 something. Oh, bring love and joy into your heart and something, something, love will start. And then on the back, he's like, I'm nice and da-da-da-da, and I have a great personality, blah, 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 love Dave, and it was his phone number. And he slipped it in my purse, and I was like, ew. Like, he's older than my dad. It's gross. I'm not really an ageist person, but I do have an age ceiling, and it is about 30 years younger than how old he is. So, and then he's all like telling me that he's a cabbie, like it's a, like you would tell somebody, oh, I'm a neurosurgeon, or whatever. Oh, he's like, I have my own cab. Blah. So anyways, last night I go again to the bar, and I was like, I was running late, I was like a half an hour late or whatever, and I wore my new shirt that I bought, and I thought it was really cute, and I like capris or whatever, and I was like, yeah, I look cute. So I get there, and I sit down, and Amanda goes, oh, your boyfriend's here, and I was like, where? And I just like froze, and then she goes, right behind you, like on the seats behind us or whatever, and I was like, fuck. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna ignore him, like, no big deal, he hasn't come over to say hi, whatever. And then all of a sudden the waitress comes up to me and she's like, are you Rebecca? And I said, yes. I had no idea why she was saying that, and then she's like, Dave wants to buy you a drink. And I was like, no, I'm driving. And then she's like, oh, okay. And she's like, so you don't want anything? And I'm like, no, I do, I just don't want him to buy me anything. And then she goes, oh, so you want me to tell him that you're driving then? Because I guess she knows him or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, thanks. So she does. And then that's that. I don't hear anything from him. And then we go out for a smoke, and he follows me out there. Like, every time I went outside for a smoke, he would follow me out there. And then he's like, oh, I was going to buy you a drink, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm okay. And then he comes out this other time, and he's like, oh, did you like my poem that I wrote you? And, oh no, okay, well, before he said that, my friend Christy was getting up to go for a smoke, and apparently Dave got up and was coming towards me from, like, the back, so I couldn't see him, but Christy saw him, so she gets up and she just yells, she's like, Becca, smoke now! And she screamed, so, like, it scared me, so I jumped up, like, and I was really startled, and I started running, and I, like, fell out the back doors, like, oh, it was like my feet were going faster than my body or something. It was just, and then everybody's laughing and I was laughing. And then he comes outside and asks if I liked his poem, and I'm like, what poem? And then he recites it again, and I said, oh, I didn't know that was a poem. And he's like, oh yeah, it was. And I'm like, well, it rhymes, so it must have been. and everybody like chuckled or whatever. And all the girls are like rolling their eyes because he's hit on all of them. And it started to really creep me out. And then Amanda's like, if he talks to you again, I'll freak out on him. Whatever. So, later in the night, I went outside for a smoke. And this is one of those bars where there's a rose lady who goes around and sells roses for $5. So he buys me a red rose. And I was like, thank you. And then he hugs me and kisses me on the top of the head, and I've never felt more violated. I was just like, ugh. So I trade the rose for a white one, because if I'm going to have a rose from somebody, it's going to be one that doesn't mean romance or lust, I mean. So that was that. And then I see him buy another woman a rose, and I'm like, I should so go up to him and throw this rose in his face and say, I thought we had something special. But then I thought, no, because that's just going to encourage him, so I'm not going to do that. And then I went outside again, and he follows me outside again, and he's like, oh, you know the rose I bought you? He's like, I bought the one right beside it, too. But yours smelled the sweetest. And I was like, bleh. It was not. And then I totally traded the rose, so it really doesn't make a difference. And then he's like, oh, the rose I got you was red. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I ended up leaving early because it was just too creepy. But yeah, that's my experience at the Skanky Bar. And I really can't complain because, you know, you go to Skanky Bars, you're asking for shit like that. So that's my story. And I'll see you later.